Hi everyone, I'm JT Pilot, and today I'll be making another video. This time I'll be doing Massive Unboxing 5, and yes, today we'll be doing the long-awaited Massive Unboxing. There will be a total of 8 models in this Massive Unboxing today, so one of the larger ones, not the largest, but one of the largest I've done before. Yeah, this will have all the new NG models, ranging from the NG models August releases to the new NG models September releases, and there will also be one new Gemini model in this video, which you'll see later on in this video, so... Yes, I currently do have a cold, so that's why my voice is a little off, and that's why this video came out a little bit later than I wanted it to, but it's coming out today, so that's great news indeed. So this mass unboxing will also be slightly different. It'll be sped up a little bit more than the previous ones. A lot of you have complained about them being too long, so today I'm going to make this one shorter, and I'm going to make the review portions for each model shorter. And yeah, just overall shorter. There'll still be a score for each model, though, and I'll still just provide my criticisms, but yeah, I'm just going to try to make it a little bit quicker for y'all. I know a lot of you just watch these videos just to see what the models look like themselves, so that's what we'll be doing in today's video. So, yeah, so once again, I'd like to welcome everybody to this massive unboxing, and now let's proceed on to the very first model. Alright, so starting with the very first model in this unboxing, which is the Alaska Airlines Airbus A320neo, the More to Love delivery by NG model. So, yes, there's a story with this one in the next model. Yes, so both of these came broken. So I initially got these models around a month ago, but they came broken. The nose landing gear came broken on both of them, which is very, very unfortunate. So West Coast Diecast sent me a replacement. This one came intact, besides an antenna missing, but the other one still came broken once again. So pretty unfortunate. So yeah. So now I got two of these, so I might sell one in the future, maybe give them away, we'll have to see. But fortunately, the new Alaska model, the landing gear at least did come intact on this one, so it's in great condition. But the American did come just as simple, just because they did not have a fixed one. They did not have another fixed one, because all these came broken from engine models, which is pretty unfortunate. Not West Coast Diecast's fault, though. And yes, I did buy all these models from West Coast Diecast, and they did come in a pretty big box, which was really heavy, about 3 pounds, which is the most models I've ever received in one box before. So that was pretty fun. So yeah, proceed on to the box now. So we got the Alaska A320neo tiles on the top. We got the beautiful More Love computer image right there. We got the More Love tiles right there. Then on the bottom left, we got the Alaska Airlines logo and the registration, which is number 926 Victor Alpha. And G-Models logo on the bottom. Then we got the bottom of the box, right side of the box, top of the box, and then left side of the box there. And then we got the back of the box, which is the same as the front of the box, except for we got NG social media and the item number, which is 13036. So yeah, so that is it for the box art for this beautiful model. Let's move on to the model itself. Alright, before I go over this model, I want to make a quick shout out to West Coast Diecast. So if you want to buy a NG model like this model from them, use my code JTPAL for 5% off at their stores. So yes, now moving on to the model itself, which is this beautiful engine models Alaska Airlines Airbus A320neo and the More to Love delivery. What a flat out amazing engine model. Engine models did a really great job on this model. The mold is great on this model. And yeah, better than their older mold. There's a few QC issues with this model, but like it coming broken, which is pretty unfortunate, and the antenna missing on this model. Yes, this is my second version, by the way, because the first version did come broken, like I said earlier in this video. So yeah, now let's be starting off with the nose portion of this model. Alright, zooming in, now here we have the nose portion of this beautiful Alaska Airlines Airbus A320neo and the More Love delivery. So we've got the cockpit windows, we got the PO2s, we got the L1 door, we got the antenna right there, we got the nose landing gear, which is perfect. At least this time it came intact, so that's great to see. And yes, perfect shape and everything. So we got the bright red right here, then it turns into more of this purplish color, and then eventually a blue color on the livery. And engine models did represent that perfectly, unlike Gemini jets. So yeah, so we got the L2 door, we got the More Love tiles, which look great. They're not italicized though, which in real life they are, so that is a QC issue right there by engine models, wishy. That's a pretty interesting mistake on their part. We got the L3 door right there. And we got the wings on this model, which are perfect. There's no wing flex to them. We got the sharklet over there, which looks perfect as well. And then proceeding on to the back of this model, we got the registration, which is number 926 Victor Alpha, United States flag. And we got chest run and tail and the L4 door, all looking perfect. Alright, moving on to the back portion of this model, we got the APU exhaust right there in the center of your screen. And then you got the vertical stabilizers and horizontal stabilizers. These look perfect. Alright, moving on to the bottom of the model. Here we're at the bottom of the APU. We got an antenna right there. We got some detailing right there. We got the wing fuselage joint area. We got a stand hole, which is pretty interesting. We got the engines right there. And we got the nose landing gear right there. Alright, moving on to the front portion of this model. So we got the cockpit windows, which look perfect. And we got the CFM LEAP engines, which also look perfect, but there's a little ring inside them which is noticeable, which is really unfortunate. This has been a problem with the engine models, new A320neo models. No clue why that is an issue with engine models now, but that is pretty unfortunate. So Yeah, so that's about the only thing about this mold that's inferior, in my opinion, to the older NG models mold is just the engines. It's just pretty unfortunate, so. Yes, but other than that, the front porch of this model is looking great. Alright, so proceed on to the top of this model. So we got the antenna right there. We got another antenna right there, and we got a Wi-Fi box, and we got a hole where the missing antenna would have gone. Pretty unfortunate NGQC issue there, so really unfortunate to see that on this model. Alright, so moving on to the right side of this model. So this time we got the R1, R2, R3, and R4 door, and we got the baggage hold. So the first baggage hold is down here by the registration back here. And the second baggage hold is up towards the front of this aircraft right here. I'm sorry about my camera being a little blurry there and poor focusing on my camera, but that's pretty unfortunate. And alright folks, so this concludes the review portion for this model. So yeah, so this model was scored with my JT score kit, which consisted of 11 categories, and the final score for this model was a 93%. So that's a really good score for this model coming broken. So here's some categories that I did take off some points for. One of the categories I did take off some points for was obviously the QC, which that category scored out of 5, which is one of the few categories that scored out of 5. And this model did get a 2 out of 5. It did take off 3 points, just because this model came broken, which is really unfortunate to see, especially for an engine model to come broken. Really unfortunate. So yes, I did take off 1 point for delivery, just because the more love tiles not being italicized, but other than that, delivery is simply stunning on this model. And I took off a point for the aerial since that one antenna came off, and I took off a point for the landing gear since landing gear did come broken. So yes, I normally don't take off points for the landing gear coming broken on models. I did this time around just because it was more significant, and the landing gears are slightly inferior. So yes, and then I did take off 1 point for the engines because of the ring in the engines. But other than that, this model is flat out amazing. I highly recommend you go pick up this model, and hopefully your model will come intact, because there's a lot of QC issues with this model, just saying. So yes, that's our sole NG July release that's in this massive boxing. Let's move on to the NG models August 2022 releases with our next model. Alright, moving on to our next model, which is the highly beautiful NG models American Airlines Airbus A321-300 and the flagship value delivery or the Medal of Honor delivery. What a flat amazing model, besides this model coming broken, which is really unfortunate. So this time around, I did have to fix this model, the first model I got, and then they did decide to send me a second one, which also came broken, just because they didn't have another fixed one. I did ask for a second one so I can try my repair job again, because as you see later on in this video, it wasn't the best. But they voluntarily sent me another one, and I didn't specifically request to have another one of these models, but they insisted on sending me another one, so here we are. So yes, I'll just reviewing the fixed model, just because this one is missing the nose landing gear. So yeah, so I'll just reviewing the first model, and yes, the landing gear repair job isn't the best, but you'll see that later on in this video. The Alaska one, my first Alaska one, turned out a lot better. So yeah, so here we got the box art. This encompasses the American livery perfectly with all the colors on it, and the Medal of Honor livery perfect as well. So top, we got the American Navy 21 tiles, we got the flagship Valor tiles, Medal of Honor titles, we got the computer generated image right there. And we got courage, sacrifice, integrity, commitment, patriotism, and citizenship, which perfectly encompasses all our armed forces members in the United States. This is perfect representation there, and these characteristics are featured on the livery, and America did a really great job encompassing that. So yes, I just like to applaud all the hard men and women on the United States Armed Forces. This is amazing what work you guys do. Just like to thank you guys so much for protecting our wonderful country. So yeah, so then on the bottom we got the American Airlines tiles right there. We have the registration, which is number 167 Alpha November. And on the bottom right, we have the NG Models logo right there. A one for sale collectible model. On the bottom of the box, we have the NG Models A321 titles right there. And we got a computer generated image. And we got the registration and NG Models logo. And the I number, which is 13039. And then we got the right side of the box, top of the box, left side of the box, and then on the back of the box. Basically same deal as the other models, as the Alaska box, but this time it has the social media, the different I number, and of course the American A321 box art right there. Alright, so moving on to our next model, which is the American Airbus A321 Astundra and the Medal of Honor livery. Yes, you can automatically tell the repair job wasn't the best on this one. But yeah, here is the model. Pretty unfortunate with the QC issues, but other than that, this model is simply stunning. I love delivery on this model. The NG models did a really beautiful job on this model. Yes, a Gemini version. This also had several QC issues, and it even came broken and worse than this model for some other people. So that's pretty unfortunate. But Here we got the NG models version nonetheless, which at least the NG version is superior besides the QC issues. So yes, to start with the nose portion as well. So here we got the nose right there looking great. We got the flagship Valor tiles right there. American A21 tiles right there. We got the L1 door. We got an bent antenna, which is pretty unfortunate. Yeah, pretty unfortunate QC issue. We got the nose landing gear with that interesting gear job right there. Yeah, pretty unfortunate. At least this model sets up properly. It's just the landing gear and it's not the best. Yeah, we got the American tiles right there. L2 door. A lot of you have gave me suggestions about the landing gear and how to fix it. The reason why it turned out like this is because the gear doors blocked me from putting it in properly. So yeah, that's how it turned out. And I put extra nose landing gear on it so it wouldn't fall off. So yeah, not the best gear job right there. Sorry about that. So this model was featured in the New Orleans update just because I wanted to feature it, because why not? But this model will be featured in the next Jacksonville Fictional model report update, which should be coming out at some point this week. So so we got L2 door right there. We got some metals right there looking flat out beautiful. Then we got the back porch as well. We got the L3 door, L4 door, and the restoration, which is number 167 Alpha November. We got the Medal of Honor tiles right there. And we got those commitments right there looking flat out and amazing. So and we got the beautiful American tail, which looks flat out and amazing. The American livery on it smells way better than the previous NG American A21 release. The color is perfect. A little bit glossy, but other than that, the color is perfect. The gray is perfect on this model. And we got the shark layer right there, which also looks flat out amazing as well. And we got the wings, which look flat out amazing as well. And the IE engines look perfect on this model as well. This is my first NG A21 CO variant on the new NG mold. And this model is perfect besides the QC issues on this model. So yeah, really great NG model right here. And yeah, so that's it for the left side. Let's move on to the back portion of this model. Alright, moving on to the back portion of this model. So we got the APU exhaust once again, and vertical stabilizers and horizontal stabilizers. These look perfect. Alright, proceeding on to the bottom of this model. So we got the bottom of the American tail right there. We got antenna right there. We got the wing fuselage joining right there, looking fine amazing. We got 899 on the bottom of the wings right there, looking great. We got the bottom of the IE engines. We got the wing landing gear right there, stand hold, and we got nose landing gear on the top. Alright, so moving on to the front portion as well. So we got the cockpit winds right there, which look flat amazing. And we got the inside of the IE engines. Also, does look perfect. Look at that fan blade detail. Really impressive effort by NG model. Alright, moving on to the top portion as well. So we got the bend antenna right there. Then we got the top of the wings right there, which look flat amazing. There's no emergency exit pass on this model, just because there's no wing emergency exit doors on this aircraft. Then we got two antennas right there, and the Wi-Fi box in the top tail. Alright, so moving on to the right side of this model. So we got the R1, R2, R3, and R4 door. And we got the bag tools. So we got the first bag tools right here. And we got the second bag tools back here. I'm going to give some final shots of this model, and then we'll be moving on to the scoring portion for this aircraft. And alright folks, so that does conclude the review for this model. So now I'll be scoring the model by JT score, which consists of 11 categories. So this model scored at 95%. And yeah, so I took off 3 points for the QC on this model. And I took off a point for that bent antenna, and I took off a point for the landing gear. So all around, this model has gotten a 95%. A lot of you on Instagram weren't too impressed that I gave this model a 95%. It's just because this model just came broken. That's really the only issue with it. So I can't really give it a lower score just because it came broken. And it's not going to come broken for everyone. So I know I got some comments about that. And I got some comments about the gear job. I want to say, yes, the gear job's bad. But yeah, I just wanted to say that just clear up any confusion. I'm sorry to everybody who thought I was just you know, what's the word to say that yeah, I just love engine models, and I think they do everything the best. They're perfect manufacturer. Nope, not in any way in my personal opinion. They're great manufacturer models, but they have issues with models. They have QC issues, and they have been screwing up various aspects of random models recently. So really unfortunate. Hopefully their QC will improve. Their release sets have been getting smaller, so we'll have to see. So that's really wanted to mention that. So that's it for the first NG August release. Let's move on to the next one. Alright, moving on to the next model. We got a model that portrays the legend, which is the Freddie Mercury Boeing 747 Exchanger from Norwegian Airlines. And what a beautiful model this is. Definitely one of my favorite models. I had to pick it up because of Freddie Mercury. He's an absolute legend. That was on the British rock band Queen, and absolute legend. Love his music. Really great guy. And yes, yeah, that's all I gotta say. What a beautiful model here. I know a lot of you weren't anticipating me getting this model, but look at me. I got this model. So he has And for the future of my collecting, I want to get models that really have more of a sentimental purpose to me, because I've been kind of losing interest in collecting models. I'm kind of just getting bored of having bajillions of Southwest and United models, that kind of thing. So I just want to get some more different models, and this is one of them. There's a couple different models in this video, but this is the first one. And yes, this is the most unique one out of the bunch. So what a beautiful model here. And yes, you guys have seen this model already on my Instagram account. So yes, what a beautiful model this is. So yeah, so here's the box art. So we got the Boeing 747 tiles. Yes, this aircraft is still flying around for Norwegian Air Norway. This aircraft used to fly during their Irish subsidiary, but now it flies for the Norway subsidiary, and it has a Norwegian registration. This has the Irish registration, so pretty interesting there. So so pretty interesting energy chose to do this aircraft instead of the Norwegian one, but it's okay. Still going to use it though, and yes, this model will be used for an upcoming airport series. So here we got computer logo right there. We got NorwegianAir.com right there. Here we got legendary Freddie Mercury on the bottom right. We have the Norwegian.com tiles and the registration, which is Echo, Indigo, Foxtrot, Victor, X-Ray. Then we got the Freddie Mercury tiles right there. British rock legend. And we got the Angel Models logo on the bottom right. We got the bottom of the box right here. Right side of the box, top of the box, in the left side of the box. Haven't got an NG model, stuff race, and changer model in a while. I will be getting some more soon, but I just haven't bought one in a little while. And we got the back of the box, which is the exact same as the front of the box, but this time it's the NG model social media and the I number, which is 58131 on this model. So yes, what a legendary box. Now let's move on to the model itself. All right, moving on to the model itself. Just beautiful. All I gotta say, this model did really well in the scoring, by the way. This model is simply impeccable. What a beautiful model. So love the delivery on this model. NG Models did a fantastic job. The colors are also perfect on this model and vibrant. NG did a fantastic job. So let's proceed on to the nose portion. Alright, so starting with the nose portion, here we got the cockpit windows, which look perfect. We got the nose cone right there. We got some P2s. We got NorwegianAir.com. First Norwegian model. I did not anticipate getting a Norwegian model, but once NG Models did a Freddie Mercury model, I just had to buy it. So yes, maybe in the future I'll get Norwegian Max. They may start flying them to the United States again. We'll have to see if that ever happens. Because recently they have ordered more of them, but who knows? Just because they're a bankruptcy, so who knows? So yeah, so here we got the nose landing gear right there with Foxtrot Victor X-Ray. We got the L1 door right there. Then we got the emergency escape windows right there. We got the emergency escape pass on the wings, which look great. We got the winglet right there with NorwegianAir.com on it. Proceeding on to the back portion as well, we got Freddie Mercury right there, his beautiful self right there, a little image of him, black and white image of him, just beautiful right there. We got the NorwegianAir.com tiles on your left, we got the L1 door, we got the registration, which is Echo, Indigo, Foxtrot, Victor, X-Ray, and then we got the Boeing 747-800 tiles, just beautiful. Let's zoom in on that. What a beautiful tail right there, just perfect, just perfect effort by NG Models, and that's a beautiful tail right there. That's all I gotta say about that. Alright, so moving on to the back portion as well, we have the vertical stabilizers and horizontal stabilizers. These are perfect. And we have the APU exhaust right there. So here's the bottom portion as well. So we got the registration on the bottom of the wing, which is unique for European aircraft. United States aircraft don't have that. We got the wing landing gear right there. We got the bottom of the CFM56 engine. We got an antenna, and we got the nose landing. Moving on to the front portion as well. So here are the front portion as well. We got the cockpit windows right there, which look perfect. Alright, so moving on to the top portion as well. So we got the top portion of the nose right there. We got an antenna right there. We got the wing emergency escape pass right there. We got the Wi-Fi box, and we got another antenna. We got the top of the beautiful tail. Alright, so moving on to the right side as well. So we got the R1 and R2 door, and we got the bag tools. So we got the first bag tool below the NorwegianAir.com tiles in the back, and we got the second one below the Norwegian.com tiles on the front portion of this aircraft. So yeah, those are looking perfect. So I'm going to get some final shots to the right side of this one, and then I'll be concluding this review of this legendary aircraft. And alright folks, that is the conclusion of this review for this model. So yeah, so this model scored a 99 out of 100 RAA and 99%. This model is just pure perfection. It's flat out amazing. Only point I took off was for the nose, since the cockpit window shape's a little off. But other than that, this model is flat out amazing. NG Models really nailed this model. So that's it for this model. Let's move on to our final NG Models August release. Alright, so moving on to our next model, which is the NG Models Finnair Airbus 850-Challenger. What a flat out amazing model. Super excited to have this brand new airline in my collection. Been looking forward for NG Models release this model. Just because the previous releases, albeit there's several of them, but all the previous releases by Gemini and Phoenix have been rare, so I really wanted to get this model, and I was really hoping for NG to release it, and they have released this finally. So yeah, so on the top of this box we have the E5900 titles. We have the computer image right there. This is a pretty Your white aircraft, not really much to it, but it's just a really unique livery in my personal opinion. Definitely one of my favorite just boring Euro white liveries. It is a boring livery, but at least it looks pretty cool. At least the tiles look pretty cool, so. We got the fender tiles on the bottom left with the restoration, which is Oscar Hotel Lima Whiskey Echo. We got one for sale collectible models, diecast model right there, and the engine models logo. You know where this is going. We got the bottom of the box right here with the engine models logo and the computer image of this aircraft. And the I number, which is 39036. And we got the barcode. Right side of the box, top of the box, left side of the box, and proceeding onto the back of the box. So proceeding onto the back of the box, we got the computer image of this aircraft. We got the engine models logo. And we got engine models social medias right there, and their I number right there. And the warning, the warning hazards right there. So that's it for the box of this model. Let's move on to the model itself. Alright, so moving on to the model itself, which is this beautiful Finnair of this A350-900. What a flat, beautiful NG model. Yes, my first NG A350 model in almost 2 years. And yes, NG's A350 model is flat out amazing. Really love this model. Not because of the Aviation 400 mold, but this model is still flat out amazing. So, really great effort by NG models. And yes, this is a boring Eurorite livery, so not much is really to this livery. So, let's proceed on to the front portion of this model. Alright, so start with the nose portion as well. So here we got the cockpit wings and the PU tubes right there, and the nose cone right there, all looking perfect. The nose shape is perfect, and NG has improved this over to their previous A350s, which I do like. So really great effort by NG models. So here we got the L1 door right there. We got the beautiful Finnair tiles. The dark blue on the tiles are perfect. Really great coloring by NG models. So here we got the L2 door right there. We got the One World logo right there. We got an antenna right there. We got an antenna on the top of the fuselage and on the bottom of the fuselage. Here we got the landing lights right there. And then we got the L3 door right there. And we got the, here we got the winglets right there. Looking perfect with the Finnair logo right there. Or I should say wingtip, sorry. Then we got the Trent WXB engines right there. Looking perfect right there. And then in the back portion as well, we got the L4 door and the registration with the vintage flag, which is Oscar Hotel Lima Whiskey Echo. And we got the Airbus A350 tiles and the beautiful Finnair logo on the tail. Alright, so moving on to the back portion as well, we got the vertical stabilizers and horizontal stabilizers. These are perfect. And we got the APU exhaust. Moving on to the bottom of the small, so we got the bottom of the tail right there. We got the wing landing gear right there with the registration on the bottom of the wing once again. We got the Trent WXB engines there. We got antenna, and we got the nose landing. Alright, moving on to the front portion as well. Man, what a great shot here. This beautiful shot right there. So you got a cockpit wings and the inside is the engines, so all these are looking perfect. This beautiful shot right. Alright, so moving on to the right side as well, so we got the R1, R2, R3, and R4 door, and we got the baggage holds. So here we got the first baggage hold right there. We also got the Wi-Fi box up there. And we got the second baggage hold. I'm going to use some final shots of this flat, amazing engine model, and I'll be scoring this model. And alright, so that does conclude the review for this model. So I'll be now scoring this model with my JC score. And this model got a perfect score, 100%. That's a perfect engine model. Engine model really did a great job on this model. Haven't seen too many QC issues with this model, so I highly recommend the purchase model, and this is a flat-out amazing engine model. It'd be a great model to add to your international collection, and hopefully engine models release a Finnair A330 soon, because I'd definitely buy that model as well to go along with my A350. So that's it for the NG Models August releases. Now let's move on to this highly anticipated September releases. Alright, so moving on to the box art for our next two models, which are the NG Models JetBlue Airbus A321-200. So we have the Prism version on the left, and we got the balloons down the right. These are both of the NG September 2022 releases. So these are fun, amazing models, and they turn out better than the previous NG A321s just because they came intact. So great sight to see. I'm grateful to have some more JetBlue A321s in my collection. I will be reviewing these two together just because these two are exact same model besides the restoration and the tail. So yeah. On the left, we have the Prism version, which looks exactly the same as the previous release, which this is the second release of it. Yeah, so we got the Prism tail artwork on the box. This looks beautiful. So we got computer image, we have the A321 titles. We have the JetBlue logo on the bottom left with the registration of the 965 Juliet Tango. NG Models logo right there, and Juliet Tango is my initial, by the way, so really cool to include that. Really cool to have that on this model. We have the Airbus A321-200 tiles on the top. We got the balloons, JetBlue Airbus A321-200 with the balloon tail. Looking perfect right there. And on the bottom left, we got a JetBlue logo and the registration for this aircraft, which is number 905 Juliet Bravo, one of JetBlue's first A321s. And this A321 on the left is the first A321 that was produced in Mobile, Alabama. So really cool fact there. So, yeah. So proceeding on to the bottom of these models. So here we got the bottom of these models. We got the item numbers on the bottom. The Prism's tail's item number is 13035. And the Balloon's tail item number is 130032. So really cool item numbers right there. On the right, here's the right side of the box right there. We got the top of the box right there with the proper computer images, except for this one, where the Balloon's tail has the Prism computer image. Really interesting mistake there. Just noticed that one. Nobody's really talked about it, so there you go. Has the right registration with the wrong computer image. That is very interesting. So, yes, really interesting. And it does say our 200th aircraft on there, so pretty interesting there. So, yeah, that's pretty interesting box right there, because the actual model does not say that, I do believe, so... Maybe a little leak to a future model, who knows? So, pretty interesting. And then we got the left side of the boxes right there. And then we're proceeding on to the back side of the boxes. So here we got the back side of the boxes right here. So, same deal as the front of the box, but this time has the entry model social medias on the bottom. So, yeah, so that's it for the box right now. Let's move on to the Prism A321-200. Alright, so moving on to the NG Mod's JetBlue Airbus A321-200 with the Prism tail. So, we'll be mainly reviewing this model, but I'll also review the balloon tail version. But that will have a quicker review just because their models are literally exactly the same, except for a few slight differences. So, let's start off with the model itself. And what a beautiful model. I'm so grateful to finally have a replacement model for my second broken first release model. So grateful to have the second release. So, alright, so starting with the first portion of this model. So here we got the cockpit windows right there. Here we got the nose cone right there, all looking perfect. We have a little tile right there. Can't really tell what this is, but we do got a tile there. We got the nose landing gear right there. We got the L1 door. We got antenna. We got the fly for fly tiles right there. We got the JetBlue logo right there, which is present on this model because some models don't have that logo, which is really interesting. QC issue by NG. We have the L2 door right there. We got the IE engines right there. We got the sharklets right there, which look perfect. We got the L3 door, and we got the L4 door with the JetBlue logo right there. And yeah, the Prism tail models fly out beautiful. Yes, this model is almost exactly the same as the previous release. It's just on the new mold instead. So, yeah, really interesting difference there. So, we got the L4 door and the registration, which is number 965 Juliet Tango. Then we got the Airbus A321 tiles right there. So, here we got the back portion of this model. We got the APU exhaust, vertical stabilizers, and horizontal stabilizers. All right, so moving on to the bottom of this model, we got the bottom of the tail. We got the antenna right there. Here we got the wing landing gear right there, stand hold, antenna, and we got the nose landing gear right there. Alright, so moving on to the front portion as well. So here we got the cockpit windows right there, and we got the inside of the IE engines right there, and we got the Wi-Fi box up there, all looking perfect. Alright, moving on to the top of the model, we got the antenna right there, we got the top of the wings right there with the anti-collision light, we got a Wi-Fi box there, and then we got two antennas, or also known as the beacon light, and then we got the aforementioned Wi-Fi box right there as well. Alright, moving on to the right side of the model. So same deal as side review, but this time it's the baggage hold. So we got the first baggage hold right there. And we got the second baggage hold right there. And then we got the R4, R3, R2, and R1 door as well. So that's it for the Prism Airbus A321. Now let's move on to the Balloons A321. Alright, so moving on to the Balloons A321, which is the exact same, but this model does have a few QC issues, which you may have noticed. So, yeah, so I'm going to go over the key differences. So, alright, so starting with the front portion as well. So same exact front portion as the previous model, so nothing really new over here. And then proceeding on to the back portion of the model, this is where this model is different. We got a different registration, which is number 9-5 Juliet Bravo. And then we got the JetBlue balloon tail, which looks perfect, besides the JetBlue tails being a little slanted. So, really unfortunate QC issue. And that antenna right there is also a little slanted. And you may have noticed that antenna is pointed up a lot, and it is kind of bent. So, really unfortunate QC issue by NG Models, but yeah. So, that's it for the NG Models JetBlue Balloons A321. Now let's move on to the scoring for both of these models. Alright, so that is it for the JetBlue A321 models themselves. So now let's move on to the scoring. So, yes, both of these models did get high A's. So the JetBlue Prism A321 received a 99%. So that's a great score right there. Only 1 point off for the minor QC issues that are found on this model and some other models. And then the Balloons A321 received a 97. So really good scoring here. I did take off 1 point for the QC on this model, 1 point for the delivery for that tile being bent, and 1 point off for the antenna being bent as well. But these models are pure perfection. Really great engine models here. Definitely love these models, and I cannot wait to have them in my next Jacksonville Fictional report day. So that's it for these models, and now let's move on to the last NG model in this video. Alright, so moving on to the final NG model, we have to end off the NG section with a bang, which is the NG models Qatar Boeing 777-300ER. So yes, they did pick up this model instead of the Condor. I guess that was a great decision because this model is just flat out amazing. What a great engine model right here. So let's start with the box art. So we got the Boeing 777-300ER titles. We got the computer image of this aircraft. Then we got the Qatar logo on the bottom left, the registration, which is Alpha 7 Bravo Echo Delta. Engine model's logo on the bottom right. So, and then we got the Qatar logo throughout the box right there. So proceeding on to the bottom of this box. This box does have a brand new black cradle, which is pretty interesting. And I do prefer this new cradle. It's a lot easier to open up the aircraft. So really glad the engine models made the decision. So here we got the bottom of the box, right side of the box, and this box is a lot heavier too. Top of the box, then we got left side of the box there. And then we got the back of the box which is the exact same as the front, but this time it has the engine model social medias and the item number, which is 73012. So that's it for the back of the engine box. Now let's proceed on to the model itself. Alright, moving on to the model itself. Just look at this. This is pure perfection. Yes, although engine model's 777 mold isn't the best 777 mold in the market, this model is just pure perfection. So now let's proceed on to the model itself. Alright, so starting on the front of the model, so here I got the cockpit windows. Those are looking good. The shape's better than the previous engine models versions, but it's still a little off though, including the just the top nose shape. But yeah, so here we got the L1 door, we got the one below right there. We got the beautiful Qatar tiles, which are perfect. The whole livery on this model is perfect. Really good detailing and great colors, and the colors are vibrant. So yeah, we got the L2 door right there. We got some Qatari writing right there. Then we got the so we got the L3 door right there, and we got the emergency escape pass on the wing right there. We got the wing tip over there. Then we got the L3 door right there, and we got the L4 door with the registration, which is Alpha 7 Bravo Echo Delta, and we got the Qatar flag, and we got the Qatar logo on the tail, all looking perfect. And the gray color on this spot is perfect as well. Alright, moving on to the back portion of the spot. So we got the vertical stabilizers and horizontal stabilizers. These look perfect. Then we got the AP exhaust, which is a little smushed in, so that's pretty unfortunate. But other than that, the back side looks good. Alright, moving on to the bottom model. So here we got the bottom model, we got antenna. We got the Qatar belly right there, which looks perfect. We got the registration. We got the wing landing gear. We got the engines right there. I believe these are GE90s. I could be wrong, though. Then we got the top of the model with the nose landing gear. Alright, moving on to the front of this model. So here we got the cockpit windows right there, which look perfect. And we got the inside of the engines, which all look perfect. Alright, moving on to the top of this model. So here we got a Wi-Fi box, we got an antenna. And then we got the wing landing gear, wing emergency escape pass right there. We got antenna. And we got two antennas right there, and we got a Wi-Fi box there. So yeah, that's it for the top of this model. Alright, moving on to the right side of this model. So here we got the baggage hold right there. So we got the first baggage hold and the second baggage hold, and we got the R4, R3, R2, and R1 doors right there, and the R5 door as well. So yeah, miscounted there. Sorry about that. And yeah. So that's what's different on the right side, like per usual on all the other aircraft. So yes, what a beautiful model, man! It is just a beautiful engine model. Engine models really killed this model. And so that's it for the model itself, and now let's score this model with the JT score. And alright, so now we'll be scoring this model with the JT score. So this model did receive a 99% on 100. The only point I did take off for this model was the gear knob tilting on this model, which is pretty unfortunate. But other than that, NG really nailed their Qatar Boeing 777 model. A model that's been long awaited, because it's taken NG models forever to release this model, and they kept on releasing this blank Qatar 777s, and everybody's like, when are we getting a regular livery? And finally, at long last, we have gotten the regular livery. So that's it for all the engine models in this video. Now let's proceed on to the final model in this video. And alright, moving on to the final model, which is the Gemini Jets United Airlines Boeing 757-300. So this is just an okay model. There's some key issues with it though, but yeah, and there's some issues with this model. But I did get this model so I can finally have a United 757-300 in my collection. So here are the Gemini box, normal Gemini on narrow body box number 2 special. So we have the Gemini logo. Maybe for collectors, by collectors, perhaps. We have the United 757-300 computer image. We have the United tiles on the bottom right, the Boeing 757-300 titles. Then taking a look inside the flap. So here we got some information about this aircraft, so feel free to pause here if you'd like to read and learn more information about this aircraft. We got the inside of the flap right there, so yeah. Alright, moving on to the bottom of the box. So we got the bottom of the box right there. We have Gemini's false guarantees. We got the right side of the box, top of the box, left side of the box. And moving on to the back of the box, we got the computer image of the aircraft taken off as. We got Gemini Jets false guarantees are as real as it gets. Highly collectible, maybe. Severe quality, maybe. Realistic metal landing gear, maybe. Detail print graphics, probably. Even on this phone, they're not really the best. As real as it gets features, nope. And then we got the Boeing officially licensed product title, so the 757. And we got the United Airlines officially licensed titles as well. We got the 2022 Gemini copyright. This was a Gemini October 2022 release. And we got Gemini's social medias right there. I highly recommend following them if you don't get blocked to learn more information about upcoming Gemini releases. Alright, moving on to the model itself. So yes, this is just an okay Gemini model. There's all sorts of issues with it. So let's proceed on to the first issue. Or the front of the model, as it's commonly known. So we got the front model, we got the cockpit windows, which are a little smushed in. Don't know why. Then the nose overall is very smushed in on this model. Gemini really screwed up the nose on this model. And yeah, so then this line right here, the blue United line, droops down way too much, and overall that line is incorrect. So yeah, so we got the P2s, we got the nose cone right there, star lines logo right there, L1 door. I recommend getting this model if you need this model. If you don't, I would wait for NG to release it, but there's no other version of this model out there, so really unfortunate. Gemini's the only option for now, so yeah, so we got the L1 door, we got the nose landing gear right there, L2 door, we got the first antenna, which is way too large on this model. Here we got the wing joint fuselage area, which has a massive cradle seam right there. You can literally see inside of the seam, so really unfortunate QC issue there. Here we got the emergency escape doors right there. We got the emergency escape pass on the wings. Those are correct at least. We got the winglet right there, which paint's kind of chipping off of that. And then we got the L3 door right there. And then we got the L4 door back here with the registration, which is number 75854. Yeah, so November 75854. Then we got the United States flag, which is a little up, which is pretty interesting. And then we got the L4 door, and we got the beautiful United tail, which looks perfect. At least the United livery is perfect. Besides that, line being incorrect on the front of this model. All right, so we're staying on to the back of this model. We got the vertical stabilizers and horizontal stabilizers, and the APU exhaust. All those look perfect. All right, moving on to the bottom of this model. So we got the bottom of the tail right there. Here we got the Gemini logo. Here we got the wing joint fuselage area with the Rolls-Royce engines, with the wing landing gear right there. And we got the nose landing gear right there. Here we got the front portion of this model with the cockpit windows and the inside of the Rolls-Royce engines. This area looks fine, I guess. I mean, the wings kind of look a little interesting, but other than that, this model looks okay. Moving on to the top of this model, we got a 3D beacon light right there. We got an antenna right there, which this model only has top antennas, no bottom antennas, which is pretty unfortunate. We got the wing landing gear right there. Wing emergency escape pass right there. Here we got a Wi-Fi box, and we got an antenna right there, and we got the top. Alright, so moving on to the right side, so same deal side review, but this side has the two bag tools. So we got the first bag tool right there, and the second bag tool, and this side also has the R side doors. So that's it for the right side of this model. Now let's proceed on to the JT score of this model. Alright, so moving on to the JT score of this model. So this model did receive an 85%, so there's some issues we got to talk about. First issue is the fuselage with the cradle seam. That alone will give this model an 8 out of 10, so that's the reason why. The nose on this model is just receiving a 6 out of 10 just because it's smushed. There's all sorts of issues with it, so yeah, landing gears will just get 9 out of 10. The engines will receive an 8 out of 10 because they're rocket ship status, which is a really interesting issue. Never really seen it on their 757 models before, but you never know Gemini anymore. On delivery on this model, we'll just get 9 out of 10 just because it's some slight inaccuracies with delivery. The details will just receive a 9 out of 10 because there's also some slight inaccuracies, the same issue. The arrows will just receive a 7 out of 10 because they're missing this model's missing bottom antennas, and the antennas are way too large. And the QC will just receive a 4 out of 5 just because of these random issues. So this model will just be getting an 85%. Not bad model if you're looking for a United 5700 for your airport like I did, but yes, so that's it for all the models. Let's move on to one more last thing, and then we're done with this video. I just want to mention one quick thing. Every West Coast Diecast order does come with some free GSC. So today we got some aircraft tugs. We got we got two varieties of aircraft tugs. So these are some really great GSC vehicles, and you cannot wait to use them over on my airport update. So thank you, West Coast Diecast. You guys are wonderful, and that is such a great retailer. And once again, I recommend purchasing them. And if you want to purchase from them, use my code JTPilot for 5% off your order. Amazing store. Highly recommend the purchase from them, and that's where all these models in today's video have came from. So really great group of guys that run the store, and yeah, highly recommend purchasing from them. Alright, so that does conclude Massive Unboxing 5, and I'd like to thank you all so much for watching this video. So this was a very fun unboxing. I'd like to thank everybody so much for watching it. So there's some great models we unboxed today, including these two JetBlue Airbus A320 units. Fun, amazing engine models. They really did a great job on them. Of course, our new GSC right there, which I cannot wait to use. We got two broken A321s, which are likely somewhat fixed now, so that's great to see. Cannot wait to use these models. I know that American was featured in the New Orleans update, just because I want to feature at least in one airport update. We got the new Norwegian 747-8 and the Freddie Mercury livery. Absolute legend right there. That's all I got to say about that model. This legendary model. We got the Finnair A350, which is also a wonderful NG model. We really guitar 777 Trainer Yard, which I'm so glad to finally have a guitar model in my collection after so long. After a lot of contemplation of several models. And then we got the Gemini 777 Trainer, which will be a good asset for Jacksonville, besides this model having some QC issues. So that is it. So this was one of my favorite massive unboxings, and I really love these models. Great diversity. I cannot wait to use these models in some upcoming airport dates. Even that Freddie Mercury 747, they will all be used very soon. So hopefully you guys are very excited for that. So upcoming this week, we'll have another Jacksonville Fictional airport date, which will feature all these new models and some subscriber routes. Then following that, the week after that, which have a new Norfolk International Airport Day, which is really exciting. Lots of exciting things have happened over at Norfolk, so that'll be a great update, and will be better than the last one. So stay tuned. I've been very busy with school recently, so that's why videos have been not coming out as frequent as they used to be. So yeah, and that's why this video is a little bit more sped up as well. So yeah. So I'm JT Pilot. I'd like to thank you guys so much for watching this video, and have a wonderful day. Bye.